Hello, sweet people. I am in my car again, and I am so glad that you are here to drive along with me. I just want to chat a little bit today, but one of the things I'm going to share at the very end is something I wish I had known from the very beginning of becoming a special needs parent. So hang around till the very end. And if you're wondering why I'm in my car so much, it's because I run my daughter to therapy multiple times a week, and we have four kids. Our special needs kiddo, her name is Finley, and she is the youngest. But we do have three other kids who are often needing to be taken places. Although we do live in Chicago, and our older two utilize the trains and the buses and all of that, which makes this mama a little nervous, but you gotta let them grow up, don't you? So anyway, I think whether you're a special needs parent or a parent just in general, just the constant going places, driving places, doing things, it can wear on you. And I know I was in that place last year. Something is jingling in my car. I think it's my straw. It is my straw. Anyway, so this year, our youngest kiddo, Finley, she got bus services, which is a huge deal. She had bus services prior to COVID, but then after 2020, she did not have bus services. And this year, 2 days before school started, I found out that she was getting routed again, which she is so thrilled about. I told her that she was going to get to ride the yellow bus, and she was like, yay, yay, yay. And she loves all forms of transportation. Some kids really don't like it. I know a lady through the therapy clinic that our daughter goes to, and her son just hates the bus, so she has to go get him even though he has services. So anyway, just a lot of driving, and I tell you what, it has given me about 2 hours back in my day, which has been such a gift. It's a gift I didn't think I realized I needed. And towards the end of last year, I actually had to reach out to some of my friends and just ask them to pray for me, because I felt like my anxiety was so high anytime I got in the car, because we do live in Chicago, and as my dad likes to say, Chicago is the honkinest town he's ever been in. I'm not sure how it compares to New York City. That would be an interesting comparison. But people love to use their horns. And whether they were honking at me or whether they were honking at somebody else, anytime a horn would go off, I mean, my heart rate would skyrocket, my adrenaline would go through the roof, and it was just too much. So this is definitely a gift that I did not know that I needed. So I don't really remember where I was going with that. But yes, so I am in my car a lot, as are lots of parents. I know it's not just a special needs kid thing. I think when you do have a special needs, whether it's a child in your family or anyone, you are generally taking them to either therapy appointments or doctor's appointments. So it can feel isolating. I tend to use my therapy time to run errands, to donate plasma, finding all the ways to make a little extra money. That's what I actually just got done doing just a little bit ago. And yeah, just find time. It's kind of, where in the beginning it felt like, oh my gosh, what in the world am I going to do for 3 hours while she is at therapy, and there was just almost so much sitting you could do in the waiting room. And so just trying to reframe that, like, okay, how can I use this time? So I have on occasion met people for coffee and that kind of thing, which has been good. I mainly use it for donating plasma or thrifting, because I try to sell things on eBay as well to make a little bit of extra money, and yeah, and just run errands and make time to write. And now I am using it to do videos like this. So anyway, but the thing that I really wish, I wanted to share this, and this is like nothing spectacular, but I think as moms, as parents, we can be really hard on ourselves, because you love your children, right? We love our kids, no matter what they're walking through or struggling with. I mean, sometimes you might not like them, but you definitely love them. And we're all doing our best. And sometimes your best doesn't feel like it's enough. And I think if I could go back and tell myself, well, I was going to say 10 years ago when Finley was born, but even go back to the very beginning when my oldest was born, Jones. He's 16 now. Wow. Oh. Guys, that was so fun. Did you enjoy that ride? Okay, hold on. But if I could go back to when my son was born, is just to give yourself so much grace. I would just say, Heather, you're going to need to give yourself a lot of grace, and your expectations of what things should be will not be, or how you should be performing is not what things will be, and that is okay. And your best is good enough. And sometimes we're not even sometimes our best is making sure everyone has clothes on before they leave the house, right? At church on Sundays, people will ask me, how am I doing? I'm like, well, we're all dressed and we've all eaten, so I think we're good. And it's not like, oh, have low expectations, but I think as parents, and especially as moms, mom guilt is a real thing. And I think just allowing yourself to step into that grace that God offers us so freely, and not just receiving. I mean, if we can't give grace to ourselves, how are we going to receive God's grace? He has so much more he has so much more reasons to not give us grace, and yet he chooses to do it. And it kind of alongside of that is, I remember, I think Finley was maybe 2 or 3, and I was being really hard on myself, and my husband, Matt, just said to me, he said, Heather, you give really good advice to your friends when it comes to being moms or being a mom, and it would be amazing if you could talk to yourself like you talk to your friends. And that, not that I do that all the time, but I think that stuck with me. Sometimes you can hear, oh, don't feel guilty, don't feel guilty. Be kind to yourself. But I think that gave me a real solid picture. I'm very picture visual oriented, and that gave me, I feel like, something to hang my coat on. So it's like, well, how does that look? Well, that looks like if you are going to encourage your mom friend who's struggling with her tantruming 2-year-old, what are you going to say to her? You're not going to be like, you should do better. You're going to be like, you're doing great. It's so hard. You're doing so great. And so saying those types of things to ourselves. So anyway, that's it. Sweet and simple. I'll be back soon. Thanks for joining me in my car. Sorry I made you fall on the floor. All right, I'll see you later. Bye.